It's a glittering audience, and the bond that they share is that they love music.
In the film, Clive Davis, the soundtrack of our lives.
For more than 6 decades, Clive Davis has been one of the most influential figures in the history of the music business. His name is connected to some of the biggest artists ever to step onto a stage. From Whitney Houston and Alicia Keys to Barry Manilow, Patti Smith, and countless others, Davis earned a reputation as the executive with an extraordinary ability to recognize talent before anyone else. He became known as a man who could hear one song and predict whether it would become a worldwide hit. But with that level of success came something else that has followed him throughout his career: controversy. Powerful people often attract attention, admiration, criticism, and speculation all at once. Over the years, rumors have circulated about secret business dealings, private relationships, and behind-the-scenes influence within the entertainment industry. Most of those stories have never been supported by credible evidence, yet they continue to spread online, becoming more dramatic each time they are retold. Recently, social media exploded with sensational headlines claiming that investigators had discovered shocking secrets inside Clive Davis's estate. Videos appear with dramatic thumbnails, mysterious music, and titles promising to expose a hidden truth that would supposedly change everything people believe about the legendary music executive. Millions clicked, eager to find out what had allegedly been uncovered. But there was one major problem. The stories rarely agreed with one another. One claimed investigators discovered hidden documents. Another insisted there were secret recordings. Others suggested private meetings had finally been exposed. Yet when viewers searched for official reports, police statements, or court records supporting those claims, the evidence simply wasn't there. So where did these stories come from? To answer that question, it's important to understand who Clive Davis really is and why his name carries so much weight in the music industry. Born in Brooklyn, New York, Davis didn't begin his professional life as a musician. Instead, he studied law, graduating from Harvard Law School before entering the business world. His legal background helped him understand contracts, negotiations, and corporate strategy long before he became famous as a record executive. His breakthrough came almost by accident. Working for Columbia Records' parent company, CBS, Davis gradually moved into executive positions. Although he wasn't originally hired because of musical expertise, he possessed something many lifelong producers struggle to develop: an instinct for recognizing songs that could connect with millions of listeners. That instinct changed the industry. Throughout the late 1960s and 1970s, Davis helped sign and develop artists who would become household names. Instead of chasing short-lived trends, he focused on performers with lasting appeal. His reputation grew quickly, and before long, artists viewed his approval as one of the highest compliments they could receive. However, enormous success often creates enormous influence. As Davis climbed higher within the industry, he became involved in decisions affecting hundreds of careers. Record labels invested millions of dollars based on his recommendations. Radio stations paid attention to his choices. Concert promoters followed his judgment. His influence stretched far beyond recording studios. When one individual gains that much power, people naturally begin asking questions. Was every decision purely about music, or were there business strategies hidden behind the scenes? Those questions became even louder during the explosive rise of pop and hip-hop. One of Davis's greatest strengths was recognizing cultural shifts before they happened. He invested in artists and genres that many traditional executives initially underestimated, while others hesitated. Davis often moved first. That willingness to embrace change helped him stay relevant across multiple generations. Yet, critics sometimes argue that major record labels, including those led by influential executives like Davis, held too much control over artists' creative direction. Musicians occasionally spoke about commercial pressure, disagreements over album releases, or conflicts regarding marketing decisions. These weren't unique to Clive Davis. Nearly every major record executive has faced similar criticism. The entertainment business is, after all, both an artistic and financial enterprise. Artists create music, but corporations invest enormous amounts of money, expecting commercial success in return. Those competing priorities sometimes lead to disagreements. Many artists who worked with Davis praised his guidance. Others admitted they occasionally disagreed with his vision. Both experiences can exist simultaneously, without implying misconduct. Still, The internet often prefers mystery over nuance. Over time, online communities began connecting unrelated events into elaborate theories. Interviews were taken out of context. Old photographs resurfaced with misleading captions. Decades-old rumors were repeated as if they were newly discovered facts. Eventually, those stories evolved into claims about hidden secrets supposedly waiting inside Davis's private estate. The problem is that none of those dramatic discoveries have ever been verified by reliable investigative reporting. Instead, many videos rely on anonymous sources, recycled blog posts, or speculation presented as certainty. That distinction matters, because once speculation is repeated enough times, many viewers begin accepting it as historical fact. One reason these rumors continue spreading involves another familiar name in the music industry, Sean "Diddy" Combs. Since Diddy's recent legal troubles became worldwide headlines, internet investigators began revisiting nearly every powerful executive connected to hip-hop's early business history. Clive Davis inevitably became part of that conversation. Years earlier, Davis famously supported the launch of Bad Boy Records, believing hip-hop had enormous commercial potential. At the time, that investment appeared risky. Looking back, it became one of the defining business decisions of the era. Bad Boy Records helped introduce artists whose music shaped an entire generation. Because of that historical connection, some online commentators now attempt to link every current controversy involving Diddy back to Davis. Yet historical business relationships do not automatically imply involvement in later events. That important distinction is often lost in viral content designed to generate clicks rather than provide careful analysis. Another factor fueling speculation is Davis's extraordinary longevity. Few executives remain influential for more than a decade. Clive Davis remained influential across more than half a century. He worked with rock legends, disco stars, pop icons, R&B singers, country performers, and hip-hop artists. Very few people in entertainment history have maintained that level of relevance across so many changing musical eras. Longevity naturally creates an enormous network of relationships. Some become lifelong friendships. Others become professional rivalries. Still others become subjects of endless speculation. Perhaps no relationship has generated more discussion than Davis's connection with Whitney Houston. He discovered Houston early in her career and played a significant role in shaping her rise to international superstardom. Many people credit Davis with recognizing her extraordinary vocal talent before almost anyone else. Throughout her career, Davis consistently supported Houston professionally. However, after her tragic death in 2012, countless conspiracy theories appeared online. Some alleged private disagreements. Others suggested hidden conflicts. Many claimed inside knowledge without presenting verifiable evidence. Official investigations into Houston's death, however, reached conclusions based on medical examinations and law enforcement findings, not internet speculation. Even so, the rumors never completely disappeared. Instead, they merged with broader conspiracy theories involving powerful executives, celebrity culture, and hidden influence within the entertainment industry. That pattern illustrates something fascinating about modern media. The bigger someone's legacy becomes, the more people attempt to rewrite their story. Sometimes those revisions uncover legitimate historical details. Other times they create fictional narratives built almost entirely on coincidence and suspicion. As Clive Davis entered his 90s, discussions about his legacy naturally intensified. Supporters celebrate the artists he helped introduce to the world. Critics question how much influence record executives should hold over creative careers. Both conversations are legitimate, but separating documented history from internet mythology requires careful attention to evidence. Because when headlines promise shocking discoveries inside a famous person's estate, the first question should never be, how unbelievable is this? It should be much simpler. What evidence actually exists? That single question often reveals the difference between investigative journalism and online entertainment. And in Clive Davis's case, that difference may be far more important than many viewers realize. The internet has changed the way people investigate famous figures. Decades ago, rumors spread through tabloids or gossip magazines. Today, a single viral video can reach millions of viewers in just a few hours. A dramatic thumbnail, an emotional narrator, and carefully selected images can make almost any story appear convincing, even when little or no evidence exists to support it. That is exactly what has happened with many of the stories surrounding Clive Davis. Over the past several years, numerous online creators have claimed that hidden files, secret tapes, or private documents connected to Davis would eventually expose the music industry. Some videos confidently insist that investigators are closing in. Others suggest that long-buried secrets are finally coming to light. Yet when journalists search court records, official investigations, or verified government documents, those dramatic claims simply don't appear. That doesn't mean the music industry has never faced real controversies. Far from it. Throughout its history, record labels have been criticized for unfair contracts, financial disputes, royalty disagreements, and the way some artists were treated behind closed doors. Many legendary musicians have publicly described difficult negotiations with executives or disagreements over creative control. Those issues are well documented. But documented business disputes are very different from sensational internet conspiracies. Understanding that distinction is essential when discussing someone like Clive Davis. One reason Davis remains at the center of speculation is the sheer number of famous people whose careers intersected with his own. Over 6 decades, he worked alongside hundreds of performers, producers, songwriters, lawyers, and executives. That enormous network means his name often appears whenever people revisit music history. Sometimes those connections are interpreted in ways that go far beyond the available facts. Consider Whitney Houston. Their professional relationship became one of the most successful artist-executive partnerships in recording history. Davis believed Houston possessed one of the greatest voices of her generation, and he invested heavily in helping introduce her to the world. Albums sold by the millions. Concerts sold out. Awards continued to accumulate. Following Houston's tragic death, however, internet speculation exploded. Old interviews were re-examined. Photographs resurfaced. Stories from anonymous sources began circulating online. Some videos suggested disagreements between Houston and Davis during the final days of her life. Others claimed to know what happened behind closed doors before her passing. Despite those claims, official investigations relied on medical findings, witness interviews, and evidence, not online rumors. The conclusions reached by authorities differed significantly from many sensational stories circulating on social media. Yet conspiracy theories have a remarkable ability to survive even after contrary evidence becomes available. Another topic frequently discussed involves Davis's role in shaping modern pop music. Supporters describe him as a visionary who recognized talent others overlooked. Critics argue that executives sometimes influence artists too heavily, encouraging music that fits commercial trends instead of personal artistic expression. Both perspectives deserve discussion. After all, record companies are businesses. When millions of dollars are invested in an artist, executives naturally want songs capable of reaching the widest possible audience. That reality occasionally creates tension. Some musicians embrace commercial advice. Others resist it. Neither outcome automatically suggests wrongdoing. It simply reflects the complicated relationship between creativity and commerce. Clive Davis himself has spoken openly over the years about difficult conversations with artists. He has acknowledged disagreements over song choices, album direction, and marketing strategy. Those kinds of debates are common throughout the entertainment business. But because Davis became one of his most recognizable executives, those ordinary industry conflicts sometimes evolve into extraordinary internet myths. The same pattern appears whenever discussions turn toward hip-hop. Because Davis supported the growth of artists connected to one of the industry's most influential eras, some online commentators now attempt to reinterpret decades-old business decisions through the lens of today's controversies. Historical context matters. When Bad Boy records emerged during the early 1990s, hip-hop was expanding rapidly into mainstream culture. Many executives believed the genre represented the future of popular music. Investments that appeared risky at the time later proved financially successful. Looking backward after history unfolds often makes those decisions appear obvious. In reality, they rarely are. Every successful investment is accompanied by countless others that failed. Davis happened to make several remarkably accurate predictions about where popular music was headed. That success elevated his reputation, but also increased public scrutiny. As a result, nearly every chapter of his career has been revisited by internet investigators searching for hidden meanings. Perhaps the greatest misconception surrounding powerful executives is the belief that influence automatically equals control. Influence certainly matters. Clive Davis could help launch careers. He could introduce artists to producers. He could approve budgets and marketing campaigns. But no single executive controls an entire entertainment industry. Major record companies involve lawyers, marketing departments, financial officers, producers, managers, distributors, radio executives, streaming platforms, and countless other decision-makers. The music business is far more complex than many viral videos suggest. That complexity often disappears in online storytelling because simple explanations generate more clicks than complicated realities. There is another reason Clive Davis continues attracting attention. Unlike many executives who quietly retire, Davis remained active well into his later years. He continued attending industry events. He hosted his famous pre-Grammy parties. Artists from multiple generations continued seeking his advice. Those public appearances reminded audiences that he remained an influential figure decades after many of his contemporaries had stepped away. Longevity naturally invites reflection. People begin asking what kind of legacy someone will leave behind. In Davis's case, that legacy includes extraordinary achievements. He helped discover and develop numerous award-winning artists. He influenced the evolution of multiple musical genres. He shaped the careers of performers whose songs became part of popular culture around the world. At the same time, like nearly every major entertainment executive, his career also attracted criticism. Some artists wished they had enjoyed greater creative freedom. Others questioned business decisions made by record labels. Those conversations are legitimate parts of music history. What they are not, however, is proof of the dramatic claims that frequently appear in sensational online videos. As viewers, there is an important lesson hidden within this entire story. Whenever a headline promises secret discoveries, hidden evidence, or shocking revelations, the next step should always be checking where that information originated. Is it supported by official records? Has it been confirmed by credible investigative journalists? Are multiple independent sources reporting the same verified facts? Or is the story simply repeating anonymous claims that have circulated online for years? Those questions become increasingly important in an age where artificial intelligence, edited videos, and viral algorithms can make fiction appear remarkably convincing. The truth is often less dramatic than internet speculation, but it is usually far more interesting. Clive Davis's real story is already extraordinary. A young lawyer from Brooklyn rose to become one of the most influential